If you want to maximize your hair growth while retaining length, then you really need to know and understand the characteristics of your hair. Because why follow somebody else's hair care routine only to find out that your hair and their hair are not even compatible? Because again, hair growth journey is a long, dedicated process that requires personalized routines that are specific to your hair need. That's why in this video, I'm going to go over 5 hair characteristics that are known to influence hair growth journey. And I'm going to help you identify where you are using a spectrum on each of these 5 hair characteristics. And based on the findings, I'm going to go over routines that will best suit your hair need. That way, by the end of this video, you have your own hair ID that looks just like this. Okay, that way you'll be able to use it as a reference whenever you are caring for your hair or whenever you want to compare your hair with other naturals. Okay, so hope that makes sense. So without further wasting time, let's get started. The first hair characteristics that are known to influence hair growth journey is hair porosity. Basically, hair porosity is referring to the hair's ability to absorb, retain, and release moisture. And this is possible because human hair are naturally porous, and each hair strands are covered by the outer protective layers called the cuticles. When we look at the hair porosity on a spectrum, the center is considered as medium porosity. That means the cuticles are laid flat with a little bit of opening to allow for optimal moisture regulation. But on the lower end of the spectrum, they're considered as low porosity. That means the cuticles are tightly shut, making the moisture regulation very difficult. Meanwhile, the opposite end of the spectrum, they're considered as high porosity. That means the cuticles are either wide open, they're damaged, or even broken off, causing the hair to absorb the moisture very easily, but they're not able to retain it for too long, which can cause chronic dryness. So the reason why you need to know your hair porosity is because it will tell you how often you will need to moisturize your hair in order to prevent dryness and breakage. Now, to figure out your hair porosity, I'm going to go over a couple scenarios, so see if any of them applies to you on a regular basis. Number 1, when you wet your hair in the shower, it takes a while, or you have to squeeze and encourage your hair to become saturated. Number 2, when you apply a conditioner, it just sits on the hair because it's not absorbing. Number 3, finally your hair is wet, but now it takes forever to air dry. If you're experiencing these scenarios on a regular basis, then most likely you have low porosity hair. Now let's look at the next set of scenarios. Number 1, when you wet your hair in the shower, it soaks up very quickly. Number 2, while you're styling your hair after shower, you often have to re-wet the sections because it's already starting to dry out. Number 3, you're able to rock, twist, and braid out within 24 hours of styling them. Number 4, your hair often feels dry and brittle, it tangles easily, and you get lots of single strand knots. If that's you, just like my hair, then most likely you have high porosity hair. But if you resonate with some scenarios but not as extreme as the ones that I mentioned, then most likely you have medium porosity hair. Now, you might be wondering, how do we even lift the cuticles in order to encourage moisture absorption, especially if you have low porosity hair? So in your case, what you can do is, number 1, use warm water and leave-in product that are gently heated because warmer conditions will help lift those cuticles. Number 2, you can also use blow dryer on a gentle heat setting. Number 3, use a deep conditioner immediately after shampoo because shampoo is naturally high in pH, which causes the cuticles to lift up. So while it's still lifted, you can apply the deep conditioner to maximize moisture absorption. On the flip side, if you're wondering, how do you even close the cuticles in order to seal in the moisture, especially if you have high porosity hair, then just do the opposite. So in your case, what you can do is, number 1, use cold water and leave-in product that have been refrigerated so that you can shock the cuticles closed. Number 2, you can also use blow dryer on a cool setting after you finish styling your hair. And number 3, you can use hair products that are pH balanced, ideally between 3.5 to 5.5, or you can even do an apple cider vinegar rinse. The next hair characteristics that are known to influence hair growth journey is hair density. Hair density is referring to the number of hair strands that grows out of our scalp per square inch. And statistically speaking, Afro-textured hair on average has the lowest density when compared with other hair textures. For example, with Asians and with Caucasians. So to put that into perspective, that will be approximately 161 hairs per square centimeters in individuals with Afro-textured hair compared with with 175 hairs in Asians and 226 hairs in Caucasians. It's good to be aware of your hair density because it will allow you to choose the right hair product with the right consistency to avoid your hair from becoming over or under moisturized. Now, in order to figure out your hair density, we're going to do a ponytail test. So first, tie your hair into a ponytail and you're going to measure the circumference of the ponytail using a measuring tape. In my case, my ponytail circumference came up to be 3.5 inches. If the circumference of the ponytail was less than 2 inches, then you have low density hair. In your case, try to avoid heavy leave-in product that can weigh your hair down. Instead, use a lightweight, fast absorbing product, for example, leave-in sprays or leave-in milks. If your circumference is between 2 to 3 inches, then you have medium density hair. So in your case, you can use hair product with medium consistency, for example, leave-in creams, or perhaps heavier product if you also have high porosity hair. Finally, if the circumference of the ponytail was more than 4 inches, then you have high density hair. So in your case, your hair is able to tolerate heavier product, for example, leave-in custard, thicker oils, and butters. And in fact, if you try to use lightweight leave-in products, it won't be sufficient for your hair. And that means you're going to have to keep on applying them to keep your hair moisturized, which is not efficient. Let me know your ponytail measurements in the comment section. So for me, according to the ponytail test, I have medium to high density hair. The next hair characteristics that are known to influence hair growth journey is hair thickness. Sometimes people use hair thickness and density interchangeably, but they're actually different. While hair density, like I said before, is counting the number of hair strands that grows out of our scalp per square inch, hair thickness, on the other hand, is referring to the diameter of a single strand of hair. And based on the hair analysis charts, you can see that on average, Asian groups have the largest hair strand diameter compared with African groups with moderate thickness and with Caucasian groups with fine to moderate thickness hair. It's good to be aware of your hair thickness because not only will it help you to choose the right hair product for your hair, but it will also guide you in choosing hairstyles that will be safer on your hair follicles. Because the finer your hair is, the easier it is to pull out, causing damage when doing tighter hairstyles. So to figure out your hair thickness, we're going to do a strand test. First, pinch a strand of your hair and gently glide your fingers down. If you can barely feel the hair strands, then most likely you have fine hair. So in your case, use lightweight products and try to avoid heavy butters and heavy styling gels, especially close to your scalp, because your hair will clump up together and as a result, your scalp will be visible. Next, when you glide your fingers down, you can feel a strand, but it's still smooth and not as noticeable, then most likely your hair has medium thickness. And finally, when you glide your fingers down, you can definitely feel a stiff, rough strand, then most likely you have coarse hair. So usually with coarse hair, they're resistant to breakage, they're stronger, and they can tolerate heat styling. But of course, do it in moderation or else you're going to damage your hair in the long run. Now, when we look at the hair density and thickness together, we're able to assess the overall volume of the hair. For example, if you identify as having coarse, high-density hair, that means your hair is resistant to breakage. For example, tighter hairstyles, chemical treatments, and heat styling, given that your hair is well moisturized on a regular basis. On the flip side, if you identify as having fine, low-density hair, then that means most likely your hair is softer and fragile, meaning you're going to have to be gentle when styling your hair to prevent follicular damage and hair breakage. So in my case, I have fine medium density hair, meaning overall I don't have much volume. The next hair characteristics that are known to influence hair growth journey is scalp condition. Our scalp houses more than 100,000 sebaceous glands that constantly pumps out sebum, which is a thick, oily substance that moisturizes the scalp and lubricates the hair starting from the roots. And as you routinely groom your hair, it helps to mobilize the sebum to the ends of the hair. But on average, people with afro-textured hair, because of the tighter curl texture, the sebum won't be able to travel along the hair shaft easily, leaving the ends of the hair to be prone to dryness and breakage. So to counter that, many naturals, including myself, we do like to use oils and butters to enhance lubrication and seal in the moisture. And this will help to reduce friction and breakage. Now, I'm also aware that there are some naturals out there who are strictly against using any form of oils and butters on their scalp and hair. Instead, they rely solely on sebum to do the job. But regardless of whether or not you use oils as part of your hair care routine, being aware of the condition of your scalp is very important if you want to have a successful hair growth journey, because it will let you know how often you will need to cleanse your hair in order to maintain a healthy scalp environment. Because having excess amounts of oils and or sebum, it will trap dirt, particles, and smell. And on top of that, if you're regularly using styling products, then it will further clog your hair follicles and cuticles, leading to product buildup. In order to assess the condition of your scalp, check to see if any of the following applies to you. Number 1, you notice small white flakes on your scalp or in your hair. Number 2, your scalp feels tight and itchy most of the time. And number 3, your hair looks dull and you feel the need to seal it with oils. If you're experiencing these scenarios on a regular basis, then most likely you have dry scalp. This means that your sebaceous glands are not producing enough sebum to moisturize the scalp, which can often lead to itchiness and flakes over time. Using shampoo too often with strong surfactants, like the ones you find in clarifying shampoo, can also strip all the sebum from your scalp and hair. So in order to promote a healthy scalp environment, perhaps you can reduce the frequency of your wash days. Or instead, you can use a moisturizing shampoo that will not remove all the sebum. And if you're not against using oils, then perhaps you can introduce them as part of your post-shampoo routine. You can start by using lightweight penetrating oils like apricot kernel oil or even jojoba oil, which has similar chemical composition as sebum. Let's look at the next set of scenarios. Number 1, you notice large yellowish flakes on your scalp or in your hair. Number 2, your hair looks greasy even though you shampooed your hair a couple days prior. And number 3, your hair looks flat, lacks volume, and weighed down. If that's you on a regular basis, then most likely you have oily scalp. So this means that either your sebaceous glands are overly active, pumping out more than enough sebum, or you're using too much oils on your scalp. Either way, when you have buildup like that, it can weigh your hair down, it will make your hair look greasy and matted, and it can also oxidize, causing smell, itchiness, inflammation, clogged hair follicles, and eventually hair loss. So to promote healthy scalp environments in this case, you can perhaps increase the frequency of your wash day using shampoo if you have overly active sebaceous glands. Or if you're oiling your scalp, then perhaps just do it once after a wash day in small amounts, and that's it. You don't need to overdo it. And also, please, when you're washing your hair, use an actual shampoo and not a conditioner, because conditioners, they don't typically contain ingredients that can sufficiently break up oils, sebum, or even styling products. Now, if you have normal scalp, then that means your sebaceous glands are pumping out sufficient amounts of sebum, which leaves the scalp well moisturized. Or if you're oiling the scalp after shampoo to supplement the low sebum production, then that means you're using just the right amount that is not overwhelming your scalp. But again, keep in mind that because of our tighter curl texture, the sebum and oils will just sit on the scalp. So what you can do is mobilize it by massaging your scalp and then distributing them along the length of your hair, or you can use additional oil to seal in the hair to prevent dryness. The last hair characteristics that are known to influence hair growth journey is curl texture. When it comes to identifying our curl textures, we often use the Andre Walker hair typing system, and with afro textured hair, we're categorized under type 4 kinky hair. But did you know that type 4 kinky hair only has 2 textures, 4A and 4B? 4C is nowhere to be found, and they describe the type 4 hair as tight coils to Z-angled coils. That's it. So that means 4C or even 4D or 4Z textures, they weren't even considered back then in the 90s when they first came up with this hair typing system. And it wasn't until the recent natural hair movement, which was back in 2010, where natural hair influencers here on YouTube were identifying their tighter, kinkier curl textures as type 4 kinky hair. That's when it became popularized and encouraged other type 4 girls to have a voice in the natural hair community. And because of them, thankfully, now we're able to slowly shift our narrative from the idea of trying to fit afro textured hair into only 3 categories to now embracing our unique textures with variation in coil formation like the ones we see in the Lois hair typing system. So I think overall, instead of being caught up on where you are on the hair typing system, being aware of the implications of having curl texture is way more important if you want to have a successful hair growth journey. me, because it will help you appreciate why you need to handle your hair differently from other hair textures. For example, going back to the hair analysis charts again, you can see the cross section of Asian hair strands as round shaped, meaning when their hair grows, on average it will grow faster and in a straight direction. And again, because they also have the largest hair strand diameter, their hair is generally stronger and resistant to tension and breakage. On the flip side, Afro texture hair are oval or elliptical shaped. That means when our hair grows, the strand will bend and twist in different directions. And with every kink that it forms, the thickness in that region becomes flatter and smaller, turning them into a weak point. As a result, the tighter the curl texture is, the more weak points it creates, causing the hair strands to become vulnerable to tension, especially from constant grooming and styling. That's the reason why Afro textured hair are generally seen as more fragile than other hair textures. And that's okay. Just because we do have unique textures, that doesn't mean somehow our hair is inferior, unprofessional, or even unacceptable in the society. Now, in terms of you wanting to know where you fit in the type 4 hair category, I don't think it's necessary. Unless there is a standardized curl measurement that we can all refer to, like there's no way of telling whether you have type 4A or 4C, because your definition of 4A may be somebody else's definition of 4B, if that makes sense. All you have to know is that curl texture is a spectrum, just like all the other hair characteristics that I went over, as well as realizing that the tighter the curl texture is, the more gentle you have to be in order to prevent damage. That's it. So next time when you're trying to follow, let's say, type 3A influencer and she's combing her hair with the paddle brush and you know you have type 4 kinky hair, just do me a favor and grab a wide tooth comb instead, which is much safer for your curl texture and it will preserve the health and the length of your hair. Simple as that. And on that note, this is my hair ID after going over 5 hair characteristics. H as in high porosity, M as in medium density, F as in fine strands, D as in dry scalp, and 4 as in coily texture. Let me know your hair ID in the comment section, and thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!